ADHD is not simply a problem with focus or self-control. It is a neurological condition rooted in how the brain regulates dopamine, the chemical that drives motivation, pursuit, and engagement. Dopamine does not reward pleasure. It rewards anticipation, the sense that a task is worth starting. In ADHD, the brain does not produce or sustain enough dopamine for tasks that are repetitive, low stimulation, or have delayed rewards. That is why people with ADHD can know exactly what to do, want to do it, and still feel unable to begin. The gap is not in intelligence or intention, it is in activation. When dopamine remains low, the brain seeks stimulation elsewhere. Scrolling, switching tasks, interrupting, daydreaming, or abandoning tasks midway. This behavior is not a lack of effort. It is a brain compensating for a lack of neurological fuel. The same dopamine difference also explains hyperfocus. When a task is urgent, emotionally engaging, or highly stimulating, dopamine spikes. In those moments, the ADHD brain can lock in for hours with intense precision. Hyperfocus is not a contradiction to ADHD. It is proof that the system can engage when dopamine is sufficiently triggered. The issue is not capability, it is regulation. These patterns often lead to misunderstood outcomes. Unfinished projects are mistaken for laziness. Forgetfulness is mistaken for carelessness. And task paralysis is mistaken for lack of discipline. In reality, these are predictable downstream effects of a dopamine-dependent brain operating in a world built for constant, self-generated effort. ADHD is not a behavioral choice. It is a neurobiological difference in how motivation is chemically generated and sustained. Understanding this shifts the explanation from personal failure to brain mechanism. It reframes ADHD not as a moral weakness, but as a condition defined by how the brain allocates energy, attention, and effort. Once ADHD is seen as dopamine dysregulation, not bad habits or lack of will, the behavior stops looking irrational and begins to make sense. It was never a failure of effort. It was a difference in wiring.